Good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry to spoil your Saturday morning beauty sleep, sir, but, well, this is the first mail I've delivered here since you took the cottage.
Yes, well, it's very nice of you to introduce yourself.
Hey?
Yeah, it's not the sort of thing that happens in London, you know. There's the countryman's spirit of friendship.
Oh, it don't happen in the country neither, sir. We all hate each other as well. No, it's just that this being number 2, Cox Cottages, and that being number 1, I thought perhaps there'd been a mistake. You see, I've just delivered some letters to number 1 addressed to Mrs. G.H. Bassett. Well, then I come along here and I'm about to pop these into your little box when I see they're addressed to Mr. G.H. Bassett. So I don't pop them in. I say to myself, just one moment, Ronald, there can't be a Mrs. G.H. Bassett lived in number 1 and a Mr. G.H. Bassett lived in number 2.
Well, there is.
That, my dear Ronald, is stretching a lot. Hey?
Yes, I'm Mr. Bassett and that's Mrs. Bassett.
Oh. Here, is that a coincidence?
No.
I thought not. I know. You're related.
By divorce.
Yeah.
So if you could
Divorce?
Yes.
What? You and Mrs. Bassett are divorced?
Could I have my mail, please?
Yeah, but just a minute. Yeah. You took a cottage next door to your ex-wife?
Yes, if you could
What,
just...
by accident?
By accident.
Divorced! And nothing but a brick wall separating you. Here, just a minute. Here, that's better than being married, that is. Because now, I mean, you can yell at her all you want to, and if she throws something at you, she can't hit you. Oh, I wish my missus would think up something like that. Marvellous.
These are addressed to you?
Yes, and these two of you.
Oh.
Yeah, the postman was a little confused.
He was also a little hysterical.
How about relationships?
You told the postman?
Yes.
Have you always had this urge to reveal all to members of the GPO?
Look,
I expect it's all round the village by now, if he's managed to stop laughing long enough to spread the word.
Well, there's a simple solution to the problem, isn't there, Susie?
Oh, yes, there is. Shall I order your removal van, or will you? Excuse me.
Huh?
Is that my whistling kettle?
That certainly is not. When you went back to Mummy, you took everything you wanted.
I never found my whistling kettle. It is my whistling kettle.
It is not.
I bought it.
You bought the kettle. If you remember, I had to replace the whistle.
Then I'll have my kettle, please, George.
Susie, we've been split up for 2 years. Do you mean to say in all that time you never got round to making a cup of tea?
I used my mother's electric.
What were we going to do this morning?
Use a saucepan. My kettle, please, George. George!
Maybe your kettle. It's my boiling water.
I wonder what else you've got.
Nothing. We split everything down the middle.
You never split that kettle down the middle, or you'd have only had a whistle.
You make Fagin sound like Father Christmas.
My egg whisk.
It is not your egg whisk. We share the egg whisk.
What did you use it for?
Mixing my paint.
Vicky Wilson always said you'd no sense of hygiene. And Harry Wilson was always so particular.
Harry Wilson was too particular. He put so much foot powder in his socks when he moved, he looks as though he's walking on a cloud. Anyway, who were you to quote the Wilsons? They were my friends.
Oh, they were. I'm glad to say that, like most other people, they remained loyal to me.
All right, you can keep the Wilsons.
And the Potters, and the Gilberts, and the Harrises.
The Harrises?
Colin and Sarah sided with me.
They did not.
I beg your pardon.
I've seen Colin and Sarah constantly since we split up. They've been the souls of kindness.
They are my closest friends.
I went to dinner with them last week.
They're bloody hypocrites. Anyway, the number of people who told me that I was well off without you.
Well, it said much the same thing to me.
Not the Potters and the Gilberts.
Gilberts did. I haven't seen the Potters because they refused to ask me to dinner parties with any decent birds.
You amaze me. It used to be anything in skirts.
In skirts, yes. Preferably without the moustache.
I suppose you're referring to my best friend.
Monica Thompson.
Yes, whose slight tendency to surplus hair could scarcely be described as a moustache.
How long is it since you've seen her, Susie? Last time I was at dinner party with her, she was well on the way to a Van Dyke beer.
My kettle, please, George.
It may be your kettle. It's my whistle.
Talk about about your pound of flesh. Now who's Fagin?
I think the pound of flesh. I think was Shylock.
Oh, really? However could I have let such an intellectual go?
Yes, that's what all my friends keep saying.
What friends?
From the Gilberts.
The Gilberts?
From the Gilberts.
Bloody hypocrites! Peeping Tom?
Wishing you health and happiness in your new home. Could do with a breath of country air. Hurry up and throw a housewarming party. Yours ever, Peter Gilbert.
Many thanks for your change of address card. Your country cottage sounds wonderful. Do ask us down. Best wishes for much happiness. Love, Mary Gilbert. P.S. Peter's written separately to George, who's also moved into the country. Did you know? Do ask us down.
Hurry up and throw that housewarming party.
Party?
Hello, Mary. It's Susie. I just wanted to thank you for your letter.
Are you settling in?
Splendidly. Quite ready to receive visitors.
Really?
Yeah, so how about you and Peter coming down?
What, a housewarming?
Yes, that's right. A housewarming. All the old friends.
Hello, Peter. George Bassett here.
George, hi.
Listen, thanks for the letter. About that breath of country air.
Oh, George, I was only joking.
Yeah, well, I'm not joking, Peter, so find something and put a knot in it, will you?
Maggie, it's Susie.
Susie, how are you?
Oh, fine. In fact, so fine. I was thinking of having a little housewarming party.
Oh, lovely. Hey, don't forget to make my favourite punch.
Of course I won't. Wouldn't be a party without you falling to the floor.
Hello, Vanessa. George Bassett here.
George, we haven't heard from you for ages.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm ringing about. Look, how about you and Charlie coming down to a little housewarming I'm trying to write? I'll make some of that special punch for you.
Vanessa's never off the phone.
Hello?
Hello, Mary.
Peter.
Look, put this in the engagement book, will you?
How funny, I've got it in my hand.
There we are. How funny. Look, it's tonight.
Oh, no, we've already got an engagement for tonight. Susie Bassett.
Oh, mine's from George Bassett.
Oh, no.
Look, we couldn't take them both in, could we?
No, that's impossible. Susie's moved out of town.
Oh, yes, says George.
Yes.
Willington.
Willington? Look, there must be a mistake. They wouldn't both go and live in the same area.
No, it can't be a mistake. I've got his address in front of me.
Well, I've got Susie's.
Number 2,
one,
Copse
Copse Cottage?
They're living next door.
But just divorced and neighbours.
They're throwing a party on the same night.
And they're asking the same people.
I don't like it, Mary.
But neither do I.
I've heard of sophistication, but this is ridiculous.
Look, I'm going to phone Susie up and tell her I can't make it.
Yes, and I'll phone George.
Oh, what a shame.
What a shame.
Hello.
Hello, Mary, it's Maggie.
Maggie.
Look, if you're speaking to Susie Bassett, do you think you could possibly tell her I'm having dinner with you tonight?
Actually, I was toying with the idea of having dinner with you tonight.
You mean because George and Susie are living next door to each other?
Neighbours, yes.
Well, look, I know I've got a very good idea. Why don't I ring round and see if we can't both be having dinner with somebody else?
Well, who?
Vanessa?
And a dozen lagers, and I think that's it. Look, could you deliver that today? Oh, that's marvellous. Thanks. Yes, thanks very much. Bye. If you want the whistle, no.
Oh, no. I was thinking of giving it back to the whistle, actually. I felt it cut rather a tragic figure, boiling quietly.
Really?
In return, could you do me a small favour?
How small?
Very small. You know that big silver bowl we used to have?
Yes.
Do you think I could borrow it?
Why?
Oh, well, it's just the right size, you see.
What for?
Filling with things. I mean, I'll take great care of it, and I can let you have it back on. Oh, you've got it out.
Oh, yes. Yes, I was thinking of, filling it with things.
Today?
Yes. Oh, well, when did you want to fill it with things?
Today.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, so am I.
Yeah. I suppose that means, my, whistle has to do with that kettle, eh?
I'm afraid it does.
Yes.
Oh, is that your letter from the Gilberts?
Yes.
You still count them amongst your close friends?
Well, I do.
Peter and Mary?
Both of them, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What? What are you...
What?
You're laughing? What are you laughing?
Oh, no, no.
No, come on. What?
No, it's all right. It was just what we were talking about earlier.
Hello?
George, it's Peter. You're going to think me an absolute fool, but I didn't check with Mary when I accepted your invitation.
Yeah, well, you said you didn't have to because you knew you had a clear day.
Yes, it has got a little bit cloudy since then.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mary had made some other arrangements, hadn't written them down in the book. I mean, well, you know what women are, don't you?
Oh, really, Maggie?
Well, you know what men are. They never write anything down.
Hello?
George, listen, it's Vanessa. Charlie's grandfather's had a relapse.
Don't you dare, Stanley.
I'll never speak to you again, Stanley. Stanley, I promise. Hello.
Oh, hello, George. This is Stanley.
Why can't you come?
How did you know?
Look, Stanley. Look, I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Well, look, George, I'm terribly sorry.
I mean, I virtually threw the party for you.
For me?
Yes, you and Stephanie. I mean, you're the star guests.
Stop. Why?
Pardon?
Why?
You come down here, Stanley, and you'll find out why.
Well, look, George, I really am sorry. I
got an extra special bottle of single-strength malt whiskey in for you.
Did you?
Yeah, I've even got a small can of Highland water.
You haven't?
Yes, it's been in the fridge since breakfast.
Oh, George, it's very kind of you, but you see, it's not me, it's Stephanie. She's not at all well.
No, well, look here, Stanley. I mean, the country air do her a power.
Yes, I'm sure, but look. George, can you hang on just a little and I'll nip upstairs and see how she is?
Okay.
Okay. How are you? I mean, you have to go with the star guests.
You know why, don't you?
No, why?
We're the only guests.
Nonsense.
I promise you, everyone else has dropped out. Do you want to spend an entire evening of total embarrassment?
He's got me some Highland water.
Yes, well, we can't spend the night chatting to a can of Highland water. Tell him, Stanley.
George?
Yes?
I don't like the look of her. She's not at all well, and it's no point. No. Well, yes, because it's a bit strong. Yes, well, I'm sorry, but you know, some other time, please. No, some other time. He was a bit terse.
Well, you can always drown his sorrows in Highland water. Ring Susie.
Oh, no, you can...
Stanley.
Hello?
Hello, Susie. This is Stanley.
Why can't you come?
Darlings, how marvellous to see you. Come in.
Now then, darling, darlings, what'll you have? I think I'd like a gin and tonic. Well, I think I'd like a gin and No, of course you're not first. Come on in.
Hello, have a good journey. Fine, come on in and have a snorter. Yes, well, what are you going to have to drink, Peter? Drop a punch?
Riding out of turn, Captain Conley. Right turn.
Yes, well, drop a punch, Peter. Same recipe as the good old days.
Or
should I say the bad old days?
Hello?
Hello, Susie. Look, sorry about all this noise in here. There's a hell of a party going on.
I'm awfully sorry, I can't hear you. Everybody's making such a racket. What did you say?
No, I'm just saying, I'm apologising for the noise that's here. Listen, if somebody would like to say something.
Almost came down to cross, but...
Sorry, sir. Somebody else here is telling a cracking story.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, madam.
Come in. Oh, lovely to see you.
Now, listen, madam.
Oh, I don't want the dog to get out.
Hey? Well, it's just that an order's gone astray, you see, and the boss is up in arms, and I'm touring around the area to see
Would you mind laughing?
Laughing?
Loudly. I'd be so grateful.
You see, I thought I'd just check.
Louder than that. It's terribly good for you, laughing. I read an article once, especially when you're worried, and, well, let's face it, you do look worried. So why not let yourself rip and just see how much better you feel? There, now, don't you feel much better?
Not unless you've got that missing crate, Mum, no.
Oh, well, they're over there. Do have a look.
Oh, thanks. No, Mum.
Oh, well, I'm awfully sorry. I do hope you find it.
Thank you, Mum.
Oh, you wouldn't feel like another laugh before you go, would you?
Sorry, Mum.
Just a chuckle.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
No bother at all. What are you going to have?
You see, it's just that an order of mine...
You wouldn't feel like laughing, would you?
But you see, it doesn't do me any good, sir. It doesn't make me feel any better.
No, it might make me feel a bit better, so let's pretend we're at a really whoopee party, right? Laugh with me. No, you're at a party, not a wake. Come on. You just been next door?
Yes, sir.
To a party?
No, sir.
Would you been next door?
Yes, sir.
Right. Still swinging?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yours?
Ah, swinging.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. The man from the wine shop's a bundle of fun, isn't he?
Oh, he's a barrel of laughs, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any luck?
No, Mum.
Still, I expect they gave you a drink, didn't they?
Oi. Who?
Mr. Bassett's guests.
What guest?
Same guest as Mrs. Bassett has, probably.
You're Mr. and Mrs. Bassett?
The well-known party givers.
Excuse me, I'm ringing.
Nobody turn up?
Except the delivery man.
Yes, he couldn't wait to get away. You wouldn't fancy a drink, would you?
If you've got any left.
I think I can offer you a crate or two. Actually, I'm parched. I haven't had a drink all evening.
Oh, that's a sign of a good host.
Is it?
Oh, I'll be there in a minute.
All right. Sorry about this, folks. We really do have to break it up now. Thanks. Thanks very much for coming. Good night, Al.
Peace offering.
Thanks very much, Susan. Still vodka and tonic, is it?
Well, I suppose they all checked and found out that we were living next door to each other.
Yes, it must have been a chilling experience. Well, to have some friends.
Well, they can stay absent as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Who needs people?
You said that once before.
Yeah.
On our honeymoon.
Yes, I know.
We didn't need people.
Nope.
For ages. You needed them first.
Did I?
When you asked Hugh and Margaret round for drinks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, we hadn't seen anybody for donkey's years.
1 year.
Yes, it must have been round
Exactly.
about... Pardon?
Exactly 1 year.
Our wedding anniversary.
Our first.
Yeah, well, I apologised afterwards, didn't I?
Handsomely.
Well, then.
You forgot my birthday as well.
Did I, really? Which one?
23rd,
Oh, yeah.
25th and 26th.
Well, I gave you a present the next day.
Oh, yes.
Bloody expensive one.
I would have just preferred a less expensive one the day before.
Yeah, well, that's typical of a woman, isn't it? I mean, just let a couple of forgotten presents rankle down the years.
6 forgotten presents.
Pardon?
You forgot another couple of birthdays as well.
Well, thank God I can forget the rest of them with a clear conscience.
Thank God I don't have to listen to your stumbling apologies and then wait for you to leave the room to have a good cry.
I did not cry.
I did, you fool.
That's typical of a woman as well.
What is?
Well, it's not the thought, it's the gift.
I didn't even get the thought.
You did when you reminded me.
Yes, and I'm glad I reminded you now.
Oh, yes.
Because it just makes me realise how right all my friends were when they said that I was well rid of you.
What friends?
Steph and I feel very badly about not showing
We
up.
knew some of the others had backed out too much.
Like us.
We came in a sort of convoy.
Susie!
Ah, they're together. The moment I knew you were living next door to one another, I knew you'd be together.
Congratulations. There seems to be an awful lot of people in here. I think you tell us you're very naughty.
Excuse me. Excuse me! Thank you.